100, and we invited you in. This guy has Trump derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician. You need to get on
you to watch the Chairman, please restore his time and remind the witness of the rules here.
There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
Is that your position as well?
My position is any victim who comes forward, of course, we would love to hear from them. 1-800-CALL-FBI. Did you ask Merrick Garland that the last 4 years? Did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim time when you don't.
This is bigger than Watergate.
When I don't answer a question the way
this
you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Makakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters is out there on this like foreigners. On the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I just wanted to stop it right there for a moment. I'm gonna continue playing this. This is a shit show that was today. The woman's Pam Bondi. All right, she's supposed to be Attorney General, right? So this shit was complete, a total complete shit show that was displayed in front of the national news. Now, I'm going to play it not the majority, but most of it. I've seen a lot of it. And you're talking about pure deflection of somebody that want to take no responsibility for nothing. That was that. From the name calling, right? Put it this way. If somebody that doesn't have the position that these people have went up there and did that shit, automatically arrest. All right? Automatically thrown through the wolves. This was just a shit show in front of the world. It really didn't prove nothing. But to the world, it proved the decisiveness, the hypocrisy of the American government, who claim to be fighting for justice for people consistently. All right, whereas injustice in the world, they're there to deliver them. They will overthrow governments, the mistreatment of the people. Okay, this is all the spiel that they pull out, but this is the most protected government of pure wickedness. All right, you're talking about the master pedal ring that's going around, and not a single person here really gives a damn. Okay, there was actual victims there, and this woman, she played the role terribly. Actually, she didn't play the role good. She very deflective, and I believe this video shows some of that. So I'm gonna let it play. I'm gonna let it rock a little bit. But everything we say about this devil is 100% true. Okay, it is true. If people don't like when we say certain things, it is what it is. This is not a popularity contest. This is a full display. Although we know for a fact that nothing's gonna be coming out of it, because they ask, "Ooh, I gotta find the other one." Damn, there's another video, and they ask it straight up. So I'm gonna let this rock a little bit, because I don't remember if he asked that question, but I remember a particular woman that asked a certain question. It was a lot. It was a lot. So let me let this play.
Go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover.
Yep, and that's why he said it for the last 4 presidents. So Trump, Biden, Trump, Obama, Bush, all this shit, all this corruption, Clinton, all this shit, all this corruption, not a peep from these devils. All right, let it be a low level anything. You'll see that to the extent of the law. You'll see that people will get locked up in a heartbeat. All right. and I believe it was this bitch. Somebody had posted it. I put it in the chat. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Slakia. All right, brother had posted it up. The same woman, right? Pam Bondi says that if we persecuted everyone in Epstein's files, the whole system will collapse. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna let this the shenanigan continue. Like I said, I want to get there's a particular one, but it becomes up.
Spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And that's
Now,
where the
I want to know
transparent-
at what point did the FBI and the DOJ decide that Lex Wessner was not a co-conspirator? Because our Epstein Files Transparency Act requires you, please put it back on the screen, to release the internal decision about whether to prosecute him or not. And it's not in the files, and it's not in the files for any of these other men.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
May she answer?
And he's a hypocrite because he voted against the ban that we were talking about on deep fake AI porn. Only 2 people voted against it, and you.
And that had nothing to do with the question. And she did this a lot. That had nothing to do with the question. Now, when they grilled her on the whole Epstein thing. They straight up grilled this woman, and this woman could not stop deflecting. She just kept on going and going and going. All right. You picked the right one. But once again, not a single person arrested, not a single person, any sort. We told you who wasn't in. That's it.
For one of them, hypocrite.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman, could she answer the question?
Chairman, I was wondering, the gentlelady's allowed, the Attorney General's allowed to respond the way she wants to respond to any member's questions, Republican, Democrat.
All right, I have unanimous consent request.
Gentleman's recognized for a UC.
All right, this is an example. I'm submitting these 302 forms that are entirely redacted. Even when you go to look at them,
Without objection.
I'm submitting a witness statement.
And a redacted means that they'll black out the letter, so you won't see nothing. So it's pretty much useless. You know, like it was a famous. I wouldn't say famous, but it's coming out when it was passing a bill during. Wow, it had to be this guy under Obama. I think it was the National Defense Authorization Act. And during this speech of the House, the guy went up there and read, and he said, "If ... happens," like he a lot of shit was redacted, so it was like you couldn't really understand, but you had to read between the lines because it was speaking of any national disaster. The military would go here, round people up, and he was scared when he said it, but everything was redacted. I remember because my memory is not that good, but I remember certain key things. And I think it was during, like I said, during the National Defense Authorization Act when it was freshly established. And you could see a lot of videos on it. I don't know the congressman name who was saying it. He said, "Oh God," like he was just shocked because I think the way it made it sound like if there was an actual alien invasion and this, that, to the third, you just could, you could read between the lines what they would do during this process. So when something's redacted, that's why the scripture says, Nahum 1:7 or 1:9. Matter of fact, let me see if I could get it in my other. I know what it says, but I just want to read it anyway. I didn't have this because I want to keep this thing going. What's me? Other. It's here somewhere. Ah, boom. Nahum Because all you can see right now, all this display, this monkey show, it's just to appease the people. Just to show the people, oh look what we're doing. We're about justice and this and we was transparent. That's the word they're gonna use. Amos 1:9. And might I add, I don't know if he's gonna say it or I forgot which video. I seen like a whole bunch of different congressmen, different congresswomen, and one made a point. It said during Obama, the Democrats didn't even try to put this out there because they both pedos. That you know what I'm saying? They both sides of the eagle are a bunch of pedos, and they're there to protect whoever's in political party is going to be attacked. They're protecting themselves. They said there's over 6 million over 6 million emails or something evidence. They only gave 3, and they only speaking of. I'm laughing about it because it's funny. They only speaking of the Democrats. So the other 3 million that they didn't put out, that has the Republicans in there. This is all a game, man. This is really all a fucking game. It says Nahum 1:3 says, "What do you imagine against?" I'm sorry. There's one in. Yeah, I was right. 1:3. I'm saying one. I'm reading 1:9. Slakia. It says, "The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked." All right. So the Lord is not going to acquit the wicked. Now, when you go up to the Hebrew word for acquit, it says nakwa, to be empty, be clear, be pure, be free, be innocent, be desolate, be cut off. So the Lord's not going to allow them just to get away. When you go down here, it says to be clean, be free from guilt, be innocent. See, in this wicked, evil society, they could claim innocency. They could claim anything that they feel like. And guess what? People will fall right in there because their position. And despite what she says, whatever this administration say, they are going to say we did our job, and that's that. And then the $1 million question is, who else is going to get arrested? And they won't say. They won't say. I read the post.
Implicates Les Wexner.
Without objection.
I'm submitting an article from the New York Times. The DOJ released nude photos and identifiable pictures of the victims. I'm submitting a letter from A.G. Barney to Kash Patel, imploring him to quit keeping the files when you found out that they were keeping files from you, because they're still redacting files.
Chairman, are we going to recess for votes?
Yes, we are.
I'm submitting for unanimous consent.
You could just tell Esau is as how can I say it? A race of people. When the spot is on them, despite this is all an act, they squirmish to the fact because they're all guilty. They are all guilty. Every last one of them. You release something supposedly, and you've done nothing with it. Absolute nothing. But look at this woman's response. This is one of the famous ones.
Of 17 individuals who've resigned because of the Epstein files.
Without objection. Just want to check on what time we have left the votes, but one thing I've learned
Yeah,
here,
exactly. No response.
don't wait on this. How much time do we have?
So it was no response on that one. But there's more. There's more. I gotta play the other one. Part 2 of the shit show.
People who have suffered, who are sitting here with us today, and they deserve answers and they deserve accountability. And I'm here to try to get some for them. Now, I've seen some of the unredacted Epstein files, and obviously, as you know, President Trump's name is all over them, but So are the names of other senior Trump officials: Howard Lutnick, Secretary of Commerce; John Phelan, the Secretary of the Navy; and Stephen Feinberg, the Deputy Secretary of Defense. These men were appointed by President Trump to senior positions in his administration. All of them have clear and confirmed ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Attorney General Bondi, yes or no, has the Justice Department asked Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Epstein?
Excuse me. Secretary Lutnick has addressed those ties himself.
I'm asking you, has the Justice Department specifically asked Secretary Lutnick about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein?
He has addressed those ties himself.
Has the DOJ asked Secretary Phelan about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know whether he has addressed those or not.
Has Deputy Secretary Feinberg talked to the Department of Justice about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein? Yes or no? Has the Department of Justice talked to Deputy Secretary Feinberg about his ties to Jeffrey Epstein, which are clearly spelled out in the files? It's a very simple question. It's not a trick question. I'm just asking you.
Now, I'm stunned that you want to continue talking.
And look what she does. Look how she just changes everything. These people, even when they all acting, they can't they can't be truthful of anything. So check out her response.
Oh my gosh.
Epstein,
Okay, I'm
instead of a
reclaiming
border
my
patrol
time.
agent
I'm asking you not a trick question, a simple question. Okay, so what is clear is we have evidence.
Do you know who Chris Malin is?
We have evidence that 3 senior officials within the Trump administration have ties to Jeffrey Epstein. And what I can conclude
What does
from what
ties
you are saying that you have not talked to them.
What does ties
So,
mean?
I think Americans would be shocked to learn that you are not interested in talking with these officials who have ties to Jeffrey Epstein.
What does
across
ties
the
mean?
world,
Can you define that?
across the world,
Can you
prominent
define
men
ties?
who've been exposed in the files have received.
Yo, let it be anybody else. Let it be anybody else. Any position. You have no money. You represent yourself. And you did a stunt like that. They would throw you under the fucking bus. This whole system is a fucking joke. And you should have, I got the comments on this one. Holy shit. And all this is just a black eye on everything. But this is all part of this is all they're doing, unbeknownst to them, they think that they couldn't control. But as the Lord is exposing their asses. All right?
Find their jobs in disgrace. And that's a good first start. And that same
Disgrace is
standard,
not saying the word
this
Chris
same
Malin.
standard should apply here. And Americans want accountability.
Who is Chris Malin?
Was the president
he?
aware? Please stop talking. It is not your time to ask
Who was he?
questions. It is not your time. I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. Chair.
One second.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Vermont.
Was the president aware of Secretary Lutnick's ties to Epstein when he chose him to lead the Department of Commerce? Was he aware?
Chris Malin was a border patrol agent.
Okay, so I'm going to conclude that the president, in fact, did know about his ties because he was the next door neighbor.
Shame on you.
Oh, for goodness sakes.
You're
This
from
is
a tiny,
pathetic. This
beautiful
is
state.
pathetic, Mr.
City will
Chair.
be in order.
I am not asking trick questions here. The
Not in
American
5
people have a right to know the answers to this. These are senior officials in the Trump administration. This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell. By 2008, we knew that Epstein was a convicted sexual abuser. And we now know that Lutnick went to Epstein's Island in 2012. How was that not a deal breaker for the president? And why aren't you asking questions of the Commerce Secretary about what he saw when he was at the island, which he lied about not ever going to? Why are you not asking these questions? And I see that my time is almost expired, so I will say this. Do the right thing. Attorney General. Meet with the survivors. They have been asking for a year. Meet with the survivors. Do the right thing. I yield back.
The lady yields back. The gentleman from South Carolina is recognized for 5 minutes.
May I have 20 seconds of his time?
So that'd be up to the gentleman, but
Absolutely. Madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
So as I was watching this, I started to understand. So when they asked for the time, so she's going combative. She's being combative towards the Democrats. But when the Republicans came in, she was all being all polite and everything like that. This is all a shit show. A nation that is divided. Unbeknownst to them, this is prime in front of everybody. Everybody's witnessing this shit. Everybody. All right. And here's this woman's response, because it's funny.
I was curious if you, Congresswoman, asked Bill Clinton that. Didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton. Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once when he was.
Weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect
She said
that,
weak sauce.
you know, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
From the
Jewish.
river.
I just want to be clear.
Oh,
Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious?
Gentleman
Talking
from
about
South
anti-Semitism
Carolina.
to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust?
my time. I
Really?
reclaim my time.
Really?
Committee will be in
Yo, this shit is so funny. But they just might as well just throw a couple knives in the floor and let them just go at it. But this is pure entertainment. This is the best shit ever. And all it shows is the indecisiveness, the division within Esau. It says, I've never been so shocked in my I've never been in shock so many days in a row. My apologies, I could not tell. Bars. And everybody laughing and everybody seeing this. And like I said, there was a lot more. And one person asked $1 million question. Who else was on that list that was arrested? And then, the bitch Giselle Maxwell, they removed her from maximum prison. And they put her to they tucked her away nicely so she can live good. I think they said she had massages and all that shit. This whole is all fraudulent, but let it be the average person. Psalm 64:8, it says, so they shall make their own tongues to fall upon themselves. They shall see, and all that see them shall flee away. And there's their own tongues, their own people that's telling on them. All right, when they had that, I forgot the documentary, but it was controlled by who was it controlled by? Shit. But it was damn, I had it in my tip of my tongue. Of the documentary, everybody knows it. This is during the pandemic. And this is when he was leaving office, which that was them. That ill ass documentary when it was talking about all the pedos and so forth, that was them. That was the government putting that out there so that when the Democrats came into power, they persecute these people for watching that. And then when the evil Democrats doing all the shit that they were doing, once they themselves are out of office, now Trump could go after them. And there was, QAnon, that's what it was, QAnon. And so now the QAnon are associated with the MAGA, which MAGA we know means witch, right? So they come in as the rescuers or the saviors, and look exactly what they're doing. Look at all the shit that's going on that they're doing. And everybody say, this is what you wanted. That's how they get the people. They give you the problem and they have, quote unquote, the solution. And that's what we see. That's all we see. So their tongue is falling upon themselves. They're allowing these things to come out so that way people could to turn on one another. Because guarantee you, all those people that were sitting there in that shit show, when the cameras are off, when the nobodies are gone, they're having a good time. All of them are having a blast. All of them is doing whatever they want to whomever they want. Okay? These people are naturally born corrupted. Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Which that goes into the small hat wearers. Okay? They're the ones that go around and pretend to be righteous, but are responsible for everything. And the whole world knows or starting to pick up who's responsible for a lot of things that go wrong in all society. Okay, who's responsible for the sex change? Who's responsible for the disappearing of people? Responsible for porn and all this other stuff? And simultaneously, they play the victims when people talk about it because they cook up the books. So if you do speak about it, you're already labeled. That's how that bitch Pam Bondi, she labeled, she used a trick on the other woman, and the woman was like, "What? My grandfather?" Da, da, da. So you could clearly see that was like the tipping point. That seeing that heinous instruction to cast my words behind thee, because they don't go by the actual scriptures; they go by the Talmud and all sorts of madness out there. And when they do that, they do whatever that says. And to them, it's fine. Everything that they do is fine to them. They're doing what the book, they're following the instructions of that book. All right. But the Lord is concerned, saying that you claim to be claiming this book and you have nothing of the Lord. When I saw a thief that consenteth with him and has been partaker with adulterers. So they're in a total agreement with all of the wrongs that are done. There's nothing that's going to come out of this. All right. He already tried to tell the DOJ, it's over, we're moving on. So what they're doing is they're doing a ritual. They're exposing, they're revealing what they are, who they are, and there's nothing nobody can do about it. that's exactly what they're doing. All right. So don't think anything's gonna come out of this shit, because it's not. The only thing that's gonna come out of it is when the Lord take this man out of power. Period. All right. Period. It says Habakkuk 2:16. Thou art filled with shame. Yeah, this America was established by rape, robbery, and murder. The Native Americans, so-called African Americans. All right. The people of the islands, the Caribbean islands. All right. South America, which are all Israelites. Okay. In the islands, Benjamin, Levi, okay, Ephraim, Manasseh. I didn't see the video, but same guy, I don't know the guy's name, but he's saying that we all know this administration is trying to go after Cuba. So once they go after Cuba, another distraction, another quote unquote notch under his belt, but he's preventing oil to go into Cuba. And also preventing a lot of things to go into Cuba with in reality, it was what? To starve out the people. They said that this, like, I was talking to a relative of mine. I already knew there was one ship, but they said 3 ships down in Haiti, American warships. So they did all the tribes wrong, and they to this day they still build off of the blood that has been shed. And the scripture says, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. It's part of that shameful spewing, right? Numbers 35. Numbers 35 and 34. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. And since the blood of them that was not shed in this land is permanently polluted, wicked. All right. This is the polluted land. Micah 2 and 10. It tells you. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Micah 2 and 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it's polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. This is why you can't expect proper judgment in this land. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, is all full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. The prey so happens to be you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the biblical Israelites. All right. We are here preyed upon by these people. Now, all these things that's happening, like I did the show yesterday, whenever I put this up, they go after their own, especially now more than ever. Something, I don't know, for what reason, for whatever reason, they really harm their own. But the Lord don't give a damn about that. It's what they do to the Lord's people. That's who Yahweh Bashem Yahshai looks at. And he's not forgotten what has been done. Let's say, hypothetically, let me just be hypothetical. It was just slavery and rape and robbery and murder that took place. Like everybody tried to pretend. Like they wasn't still doing it to this day. That alone would got them destroyed. That those acts alone, what they done in the past, would got them destroyed. But since there's more to it, guess what? All that's added against them. So they walk around here acting like they haven't done nothing. They act like they're righteous people, but they're nothing but pieces of shit. Their hands are full of blood, and to this day, to this moment. All right. So they shameful spewing. All that is a shame. But they have no problem to judge another nation and tell them, "Oh, you did this, you did that. You're doing that to their people." What was their excuse when they first went in to attack Syria? Oh, he's dropping chemical weapons on his people to kill them off. That was what they told the people, the stupid Americans. And what most of them, which is really that they call themselves MAGA today. That sector, they believe the bullshit. So we got to go up in there. They did the same thing with Iraq. They have weapons of mass destruction. What ended up happening? There was found nothing. And they do far things much worse than the people that they accuse for doing. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. So all this America, great this, the great that, and yet you can't even handle your politicians, the people that's supposed to be in order, that's supposed to be in the power position to change laws, to make things happen. You can't even control them or even persecute them when they do wrong. All right. It says, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and the shameful spewing shall be upon thy glory. So all the shameful shit, all right, is coming out. Hollywood. Coming to find out that Hollywood is nothing but a pedo ground. Somebody that was breaking it down. They said that Michael Jackson created Never Neverland to take the children from getting got from these sickos. So they turn it around and said that he's the one that's molesting them. So we could clearly see the Lord is exposing you on all levels. Because what? First the exposure, then the destruction. All right. And when this destruction once all these things takes place, hey, the Spirit of the Lord is revealing them. We ended off on this. I'm gonna make this too long. Job 20. Sorry. Job 20 and 27. Bring that a lot too. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. So the heavens, which is what? The satellites, the internet of things. The internet is exposing these devils for who they are, what they're all about. They said the worst thing that could ever happen was the internet. Why? Who said it? Was it Kissinger? I believe it was Kissinger. Said the worst thing that could ever happen was the internet because now they're being exposed because they want to control everything, but a lot of things are coming out. So, hey, the Lord is exposing these devils on a high level. And once after the exposure, which I'm ending off on this, 2 Thessalonians 2, I believe it's 7. No, I'm sorry, 8. And then shall the wicked be revealed, which is now the world starting to see. No matter what coin no matter what wing, no matter what side of the coin, so to speak, it all is wicked. Okay. Now all those idiots that's out there, yeah, we gotta vote these people out and put the Democrats. They have amnesia real quick because that side is no different. It's absolutely no different at all. The Democrats are no different from the Republicans, none at all. All right, but right now both sides are being revealed, and the crazy part about it is only the elect. The people see it, but the people always believe that the other side is going to get them out of that situation. And when they believe that bullshit, they're right back in the game. You're right back doing the same thing. It says, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, which is whom? The prophets. So first the exposure, we expose on a high level what's going on. And all these people, I gotta say like this, they're like puppets. They're just out there revealing themselves. They feeling themselves, they're revealing themselves. It's like they just don't give a damn. But what they don't realize is the Lord putting the spirit on them to do that. So the average person they may see it, but they can't see the wickedness, and that's our job. Hey, look at the wickedness, all right? And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So first the exposure, then the destruction. And that's systematically destructive nature of power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's what the Lord is doing right now. That being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.